Okay, so let's see. I want to make sure. Yes, okay, we are recording right now. And a couple things, couple housekeeping things. First of all, I'm going to be asking questions. Would definitely appreciate a response. Yes, no, uh, maybe. I'm doing this. Things like that throughout the session. And I'm going to be sharing information with you that you can take. Some of it you can use right away. Actually, let me rephrase that. Everything you can use right away. Some of the things you can implement right now. Some of the things will take you a little bit of time, a couple days, so on and so forth, to be able to get up to speed, up and running. All right. So we are going to get started right now. I am recording this within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, we're going to send you the recording. Any of the resources that I mentioned during the session, I'm going to get sent out to you as well. And so just give me 24 hours for that. All right. And I really, really hope that everybody is safe and healthy, and blessings for all of us. So just give me about 30 seconds and I'll go ahead and start to share my screen. And then we'll get into everything right away. And once you're able to see my screen there, do me a favor and just type in SEE so that you can see it. And if you can hear me, well, if you can hear me, you can type in SEE, right? Okay, awesome. So I do have let's see, another screen over there, so I can look at the chats while we're doing this. And if I miss a question, just be patient with me. Okay, we will get to all the questions today. So having said that, let's go ahead and get started right now. Okay, shall we? Let me just make one quick adjustment here. Okay, so today we're going to be covering digital marketing and the importance of landing pages. And digital marketing is such a huge topic. And the 60 minutes plus that we're going to be here together, we'll just barely scratch the surface of digital marketing. And I want to put a little bit more focus onto landing pages. But we're going to cover all that. And I'm going to make you a promise right now. You don't need to believe everything you hear from me. You don't need to say to yourself, I like and I trust Chris. I'm going to prove everything I share with you today. If that sounds fair, give me a thumbs up. Or if your video is not on, just type OK in the chat. All right. And if we can agree on that, great. So we're gonna go ahead and I see a lot of I see some OKs coming in. Thank you, Julia. And for everyone that wished me good morning, if I didn't reply right away, I want to say good morning to everybody again. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and begin right now. Now, the first thing that I wanna share or ask you is, we have two excuses. We as human beings, right? We have two excuses. The two excuses are no time and no money. And we've all said these things, haven't we? Right? No time to learn, no time to go on vacation, no money to invest, no money to fix the car, no money to buy a new watch, no money to buy a computer, whatever it is. So the first thing I want to acknowledge everybody here is that you made the time to be here this morning. All right. And I am thankful for that, and I do appreciate that. And because I appreciate that, I'm going to give you value information today. All right. So I want you to commit to no more excuses. All right. But that's the easy part, isn't it? What we need to do actually is we need to change the question and ask this instead. If the quality of my life depended on it, what would I do? if the happiness of my family depended on it, what would I do? The best investment that you can make is to invest in yourself. I mean, this is cliche, right? Cliche, but I promise you it's true. So I want to let you know up front, okay? I'm going to be selling you on this session today. I'm going to be selling you the idea that you can do more, earn more, and achieve more. I'm going to be selling you to yourself. I'm also going to offer you 2 resources at the end of the session. And I will ask you permission to tell you about it. And I want you to judge me on the quality of the information that I'm about to share with you. If that sounds fair, we'll continue. And I'll tell you more about that later on. Right now, I'm going to share with you, and you're going to hear several ideas, techniques, and strategies that will help you change your results. The more that I tell you about it, the more excited you're going to be. All right. If that sounds fair, we're gonna move on to the next part. Okay. So I want to share some comments when clients engage us. I received this message. They say, hey, you know what? My team received 64 leads and inquiries in the last 4 days. All right. I mean, I thought that was amazing. They break down the incoming leads, 64 leads in 14 days. They never had this experience before. So let me ask you a question. What would it mean to you if you were able to get 64 leads in 4 days? All right, just think about that. Now, I want to share a little bit about my background and tell you how I got to this point, or roughly how I got to this point, right? So I was actually, I grew up, I won't say that it was a hard life. It wasn't an easy life, okay? If you look at the bottom left corner of your screen, that's a picture of my dad. He passed away when he was about 37 years old. I was about 7. And, at that age, it was a little bit hard growing up, but my mom brought up my brother and I, and we went through some tough times growing up, got into a lot of trouble in school, didn't do too well in school. And we often didn't have enough money to buy the things that we wanted, or, do the things that we wanted to do. Now, I'm not complaining. Others have had and are having a harder life than me. And, when you're going through it, it's just not that fun, especially, at 7 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, right? So I managed to complete my O levels, that's like high school, and pass my A levels, kind of like junior college. My results weren't good enough for a good job. So I found a job at a polymer factory, and my job was to carry 25 kg bags of powder and chemicals up and down the factory. I did that for about 8 months. Then I joined the Army. Now, when I joined the Army, my contract was for 6 years. I actually enjoyed that life very much. That's why I signed a contract for 6 years. And as a commando officer, I learned many things that gave me the foundation for the rest of my life: discipline, determination, adapting and overcoming situations, among other things. And then when my contract was up, I floated around for a little bit, and then I moved to San Diego. So I went to San Diego because I had an uncle there who owned a ranch, like a farm, in a tiny town called Ramona. So I like to say I became a farmer. Actually, I thought I was going to be a cowboy, but I was just basically a ranch hand. The guy that carried everything and cleaned everything. That was what I did. So, up to this point, I was a bad student, factory worker, soldier, and now a ranch hand. Now, excuse me. Being a ranch hand, that was something that I didn't really like, so I started looking for something else. And so my uncle introduced me to the guy that owned a company called Big O Tires. You can see that on your screen there. And I interviewed there, and I thought I'm going to be a branch manager or a supervisor, right? But no, I was one of the guys that changed tires, and I kind of liked the job. Working with my hands, and you had to use some creativity and intelligence, right? So that was one of the stores. I liked the job until one day they said, "Oh, we need to advertise more." So the idea was to bring all the tires out from the storeroom and display on the roadside or the sidewalk, and we had to make 64 piles of 4 tires each. And the guy whose job was to bring all that out in the morning and put them back in at the end of the day. That was me. After about a week or so of this, I was aching all over, and I said to myself, I don't want to do this anymore. So, and that's when my eyes opened, and that's when I made the decision that I wasn't happy or satisfied. Now, here's the thing, okay? If you want more, you need to be unhappy with your current situation, your current results, your current comfort level. If you're comfortable, you're not going to want to change and improve, because change and improving is hard. It can be hard because we like to be comfortable, right? So I saw, some customers coming in to change tires. They were having different cars, and so I thought, hey, how come these guys have so many cars? They must be doing really well. So I talked to them and I said, what do you do? How can we have so many cars? And then they said, oh no, these are our customers' cars. We're helping them change their tires. We actually sell cars. And I said, hey, can I do that? And they said, sure. And I said, how do I start? They said, just go and apply. So I applied at about 10, 14 different places. I applied at Ford, Chevrolet, Mitsubishi, Mazda, Nissan. I applied at all those places, all rejected, until I applied at Toyota. Now, at Toyota, the average guy selling Toyota cars would sell about 8 to 12 cars a month, which is, it gives a pretty decent income. Now, my first month I sold 3, and I said to myself, this really isn't working out. I was enjoying myself and it was a lot of fun, but I needed to make more money. Okay, so I learned from the best guys from everywhere that I could. I enrolled in sales seminars, workshops. I bought sales books, and this is back when we were still using audio tape, cassette tapes, right? And I studied and I studied and I studied and I learned. A lot of people do that, but more importantly, I applied what I learned. So 2 months later, I sold 28 cars, which was a new record. Okay, and for the next 3 years, I was always in the top 3, averaging between 28 and 32 cars a month. I want to share my tax return. We call it the W-2. Okay, in 1995, at the age of 25, I made over 93,000 US dollars. This is in 1995 at 25 years old. The next year it went up to 109,000 US. 1997 it went up to 117,000 US dollars. Now, this is not bad, okay, for a 25-year-old kid, 26-year-old kid. Not bad for a kid who was a lousy student, worked at a factory, was a soldier, a farmer, and a tire changer. Okay, one of the first things I realized is that it doesn't take talent for someone to succeed. I know that because I didn't really have a whole lot of talent. I knew that I had to get new skills and improve my skills, because most importantly, apply myself, implement the skills, and take action. If you learn nothing today, you have to learn at least one thing. All right, you have to get new skills. You have to get education, but more importantly, not just get the new skills and get the education. You have to implement them, and you have to take action. Now, 1998 was the turning point of my business and entrepreneurship journey in 1998. So I decided to start my own company, and in the spare bedroom of my apartment in San Diego, I was cold calling and selling like a madman. I was cold calling 6 days a week. All right. 4 months later, I opened up an office and I started hiring. 22 years later, we have offices in 3 countries and clients in 14 countries. Okay. And in 2007, now we were doing marketing services, marketing training, selling services, selling training. All right, since 1998, and we got really good at social media marketing. We were doing it for ourselves back in 2004, 2005, 2006, and we started, for some reason, we started getting good at it. So we started, selling and marketing social media and online marketing as a service back in 2007. And we started doing online marketing, even before anybody knew how to market on Facebook, Google, and MySpace. So, so not just in the US, we started getting clients from UK and Russia. And so I've been doing this for more than 13 years, and it has changed so much. But I want to give you a warning. Social media marketing, digital marketing is not the only answer for everything that we need to do in our business, in our entrepreneurship journey. All right. Don't let go of other marketing channels. Okay. 2020 is a very interesting year. Okay. We have to increase your marketing efforts. So let me ask you a question, and I'd love to have an answer from you. And you just gotta put it in the chat. All right. Now, who has been doing okay before COVID-19? You can just put me or I, or put okay. Yeah, I think everybody was, right? Everybody was kind of doing okay. So in 2020, this hit all of us really hard, right? And we as a company, we lost several big deals in March, April, and May, in the tune of hundreds of thousands, all right? But instead of crying, panicking, and stressing too much, all right, we focus on marketing to the right targets during these times. We didn't just rely on just one or two marketing streams. We focus on several, both online and offline. Now, my company is called Comtech. We actually have three entities, right? We have Comtech Innovative Groups in Bahad. We have Comtech Solutions LLC in the US. We have HIT in Philippines, all right? So I run several companies under our umbrella group, HQ in the US. So we run that in the US, Malaysia, and Philippines. And I'll give you an example. For one of our products, we used to get 10 to 12 leads a week. Now, 10 to 12 leads a week is not a whole lot, but the price point was about 1,000 USD. All right. So consistently, we get 10 to 12 leads a week. All right. Just last week, we managed to get 4 leads and we closed 3. Okay. Of those 4 leads that we got last week, 3 were from our digital marketing efforts and 1 from offline strategies. So here's the lesson. Get your business, your services, and your products online now. Okay. If they're not online, get them online. I don't care what you do. You can be selling milk, you can be selling insurance, you can be selling training services, you can be in direct marketing, you can be selling, you might be a coach, whatever it is that you do, get your business, your services, and your products online now. If you're already online, then man, get better at it and get it done right. Some clients ask me, hey, Chris, can I get leads, prospects, and sales from Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn? My answer is this. Some service providers, some trainers say, oh, yes, you can. Okay. My answer is this. If you're not doing it, you're not going to get any. If you're not doing it right, you either won't get any or you get very little. Now, if you do it right, the probability of getting leads, prospects, and clients is way, way, way higher. All right. I want to introduce this a simple, straightforward sales funnel with you. Now, there's 3 basic components. On the left of the screen, you see the hand holding the phone, right? That's not the latest iPhone though, okay? That's what we call the intake. The intake is either your Instagram, your LinkedIn, whatever it is, right? For the purpose of today's session, we're going to focus more on the Facebook ad and the Facebook post, all right? So whenever I say Facebook ad, Facebook post, it just doesn't mean that. It can be Instagram, it can be LinkedIn, it can be any of the multitude of social media platforms out there. Okay, so the middle of the screen that you see, the thing that kind of looks like a page, that's the landing page where you collect info and data. All right. Now on the right side where you see like that blue funnel, that is the conversion, where you follow up, nurture, educate, build the relationship, and you convert into clients. Now, this process that you see here on your screen, the intake, the collection, and the conversion, For some of you, it might be, that whole process can compress into minutes. For some of you, that process might be a couple hours or a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months. The longest conversion that I've had using this system is about 2.5 years. But the 2.5 years at the end of it was worth hundreds of thousands. Okay. Now, that's the simple, straightforward sales funnel. Here's the full sales funnel. Okay. And I'm going to show you how we implemented it for a company. All right. We took in a client in 2019. They do financial education, not doing too well. Like I said, at the beginning of 2019, they had very few leads and prospects. Actually, I apologize. We took them as a client in the last part of 2018. Okay. So they've been around for about, if I remember at that point, about 2 years or 3 years. They had very few leads and prospects and only had about a 10% closing ratio. At the 10% closing ratio, they only managed to generate about $10,000 in revenue every month. It's really, really not good. So I spoke with the owner. I asked him these questions, right? Tourism, okay. I'll cover that very, very quickly, Israel. Maybe I'll cover that during the Q&A part. If I forget, please do remind me. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Israel, for asking the question. So I asked him these questions. Do you really want better results and more income? All right. If the answer is yes, then you have to acknowledge this. And ask yourself these questions as well. Do I have the right skills? Do I have the right techniques? Am I taking the right action? And he agreed with me and said, Chris, you're right. So we created a customized funnel for him. So this is the marketing and sales funnel that we created. All right. So we ran this. Now this is the marketing part. Okay. We also trained them in how to, have conversations, present, qualify, handle objections and things like that. That's the selling part. All right. But when we take these two together, we got pretty good results. All right. Within 3 weeks, the closing ratio was now 75 to 85%. Okay. They were generating 130,000 a month. We turned them into $1 million company. Now, can you imagine if you experienced something like this? All right. Now in 2019, we turned them into $1 million company. All right. I'll show you this first. So these are some of the messages that he sent to me. The success rate jumped to 75 to 80%. And when 2020 started, they should have been on track to double 2019. Okay. But because of COVID, they're actually on track right now to equal and maybe do not a whole lot better than last year, but do a little bit better than last year. Okay. The only reason they were able to get this kind of results in 2020 is because of the lead generation and getting the right kinds of leads for them. So I'm going to break down the fundamentals. Okay. Here's the fundamental actions that you have to take in digital marketing. All right. What you see in your screen right there is all the steps that you need to take. And it looks simple. It's actually simple. It looks easy. It can be easy, but it's going to take work. And now you need to do all of these things even before you spend anything on your first Facebook ad or make your first Facebook post. Can I just ask you guys this question? And I would love to have an answer in the chat. It's either if you have, answer yes. If you have not, just answer no. Have you ever tried to put a Facebook post selling or marketing something? Or have you ever tried to put a Facebook ad trying to market and sell something? So if you can just, learning now. Okay, awesome. Some no's. All right. So I'm gonna go through this so that you can start to do that. Okay. So I'm not going to read out all of that on screen. You can read it on your own. And if you miss anything, you can watch the recording of this session again. Now let's start with Facebook. Okay, we start with Facebook. There's three things that we need to focus on. If you're selling on marketing, what you need to do is you must have a business page. Okay, if you do not have a business page, you cannot do Facebook ads off of your personal. So if you have a product, you have a business, you have a service, you must have a dedicated Facebook page. Facebook business page. Then you also need to join groups in the community where your target audience would be. Now your personal is your personal. Okay, so remember this part. I want you to remember this part here when we talk about these 7 things. I'm going to go through each of these things right now. Okay. Okay. First, I'm not going to go through every single line. All right. You see all the things on your screen. We need to have the demographics, which is your target audience. The basic criteria or the basic demographics is age and gender, location. Where are they? Are they in your neighborhood? Are they in your town, in your city, in your state, in your country? Or we want to, tackle other countries as well. All right. So what do they do? What are the interests that they have? And then on the right side of your screen, you see that we break down a little more. Now, interesting, the birthday and anniversary. If you're selling like we have clients in skincare, we have clients in ladies products. All right. They say that our target market is ladies between the age of this and this, whatever it is, right? And then so when we talk to them, we go, what about the men? Men can use our products. And I say, yeah, men cannot use your products, but men, if we're fortunate enough, to be in a relationship, if we're fortunate enough to be married then birthdays and anniversaries come up, right? And maybe you can present your product as a birthday gift or an anniversary gift. And then, hey, we never thought of that. So in Facebook, Facebook knows your birthday, right? Correct. So if let's say you package a birthday gift and you target it to men for their wives and their significant others. All right, little example there. So you got to get your demographics. The reason you got to get your demographics is because how you sell. Okay, let's say insurance, for example. An insurance product, you can say, hey, you know what, it covers you, whatever it is, right? But how you sell to a 25-year-old is different. Is different than how you sell insurance to a 50-year-old, right? How you sell insurance to a female and male is a little bit different, right? How you sell to a 25-year-old male and a 25-year-old female is different. So the message has to be right for that particular demographic. Now, so next is we got to go into the product and service, right? Why do we need to do this? We need to do this because we know our product, we know our service, correct? If not, why would we sell that, right? You have to ask yourself, certain questions. We know our product, we know our service, but do they know? And can we explain or describe it, right? So what we got to do is we got to go through these questions, okay? What is it? Who is it for? Okay? What problem does it solve? Every product solves a problem, all right? Then you got to list out the features and you got to list out the benefits. What's the difference between features and benefits? You cannot sell just on features. Okay, I want you to, when you're watching TV or you watch YouTube and the ads come up, or on Facebook, like an ad comes up, right? I want you to take a look at these ads, like these commercials a little bit more closely. Okay, for example, it's like, let's say selling a car. Oh, it has 4 tires, it has power steering, it has leather seats. Are those features or benefits? Those are actually features. Features are things in that product or service that are there. The 4 tires, the leather seats, the power steering, ABS brakes, tinted windshield, whatever those are, okay? So those are features on the car. Now, the benefits is how does your customer, how does your prospect benefit from that particular feature, okay? So leather seats, so what? In fact, anything that you, any kind of ad or conversation that you have when someone's asking you a question like, what do you do? Things like that, right? If you can say, so what, at the end of your answer, it's not a benefit, all right? So I'll give you an example. It has leather seats, so what, right? It has leather seats, and so the car can be maintained a little bit easier. If you spill anything, it's easier to wipe up. It lasts a lot longer. It gives a more classy look, a more elegant or luxurious look, and then people are going to look at you and they're going to feel a little bit jealous. Okay, so that's a benefit. Any feature that your product or service has, you have to list out the benefits. All right, the benefits are what sells. So why are we doing this? I'll come to that in a minute. Okay, then you should list out why someone should buy from you. Why should someone buy from you? Let's say you sell insurance. Why should they buy from you versus GE, Prudential, AIA, AIG, Mass Mutual? Why should they buy from you versus the other company or the other agent? If you're selling, if you're a restaurant, why should someone come and eat your food versus what's right next door? All right. You have to list out why someone needs to buy from you. Okay, let's go into this. Israel has a question, unique selling point. It's when we talk about USP, right? When we talk USP, I tend to shy away from using that particular term. The reason for that is because is there really anything unique about your product? I'll share this with you. The only thing unique about any product or service is that you are representing it. Okay, we have so much competition nowadays. It's not so much the unique selling point. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take the product or service and the feature and relay it into a benefit for the person that you're talking to. Okay. Now I'm not saying unique USPs are wrong. If let's say they're very unique, then that's what you that's what you relate to the prospect. Does that kind of make sense, Israel? Did I answer that question okay? All right. Okay. So when we post, I've seen so many posts on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and all of those, right? It's like, hey, we're having a great big sale, 50% off, and it's got 4 tires, it's got leather, it's got tinted windshield, special discount. Okay, then it's like, okay, so what? All right, here's how you should structure your Facebook ad or Facebook post. All right, you can read through that on your own. I'm not going to go through every single one. I'll just highlight a couple things. The first is the currency. The currency in today's market is attention. When our attention span is so short that we look at something and then we look away. I'll give you an example. When we look at our phone and then we're on Facebook, right? And then we scroll down, and then something catches our eye, and then we look at it for a few seconds and then we move on. The attention span of our attention span is so short now. It's so short. You have to grab their attention. And how do you grab their attention? You grab their attention with a headline that will make them think or make them pause for a second and go, hey, yeah, that's me, right? You have to create, you have to put in a very clear call to action, okay? a lot of ads, a lot of posts. They just put, this is the best car, 4 wheels, leather seats, tinted windows, uh, and then that's it. Or they go, if you want to know more, give me a call. Even that is better than no call to action. Okay, but your call to action has to be very clear. Now, the one of the things I'll mention right here now that's not on the slides is this. when you talk to when you have a post or when you're talking to someone, the call to action has to be very clear. It has to be very clear. Okay. Now let's go into the landing page. Can anybody tell me? Okay, first of all, do we know what a landing page is? If it's yes, just say yes. If it's no, don't need to answer that. I'll go through it. I just want to get a gauge of, does anybody know what a landing page is? Okay, a landing page is a simple one-page website. It doesn't have to be fancy. The landing page is so simple, and the information, only important information that is designed to, get someone to take action and take the next step. That's the purpose of the landing page. The purpose of the landing page is not to sell. The purpose of the landing page is to, yes, you can sell. Some people will buy. In fact, I'll touch on this very quickly. When someone sees an ad or when someone sees a post, right? There's a couple reactions. The first reaction is, oh, I need to buy that now. That doesn't happen very, very often. All right, but it does happen. The next one is like, hey, you know what? I'm really interested in this. I'll remember to buy it tomorrow. And remember, attention span, we don't remember to buy it. How many times have you experienced? How many times have you experienced that? Oh, I want to buy this. I'm going to buy it tomorrow, whether online or whatever it is, right? And then tomorrow you forgot. And then a week later, it's like, hey, yeah, I think I was going to buy that. Has that ever happened to you? Just think about that. If that has ever happened to you, it's happening to the people that might be interested in having a selling or buying relationship with you. All right. Then you have the ones that, you know what, this sounds interesting. I need a little bit more information. Then the other one is, this sounds interesting. I think I'll be ready to buy in like 1 week or 3 months or 6 months, whatever it is, right? But how do you know what information to give them unless they reach out to you, right? Then you have the ones that say, this sounds kind of interesting. I don't think I'm ready for it yet. I don't know when I'll be ready. And then you have the other ones that said, hell no, I'm never going to buy from you, right? So these are the reactions that you have when when you're selling and marketing your product and your service, right? So the purpose of the landing page, there's really only one purpose. The one purpose of the landing page is to get somebody to go there and to enter their information. The most basic information that we want to get is the name and the email address. Most of the landing pages that I do, we want to collect name, email, and phone number. All right. Every piece of information, every additional piece of information that you ask for, the response rate is going to come down. But the quality increases just a little bit for every piece of information that you ask for. Okay, so the purpose of a landing page is to collect information primarily, secondarily to make a sale at that point. All right. Now the components, you have the headline, you have the design, you have the copywriting, the content, and of course you have the call to action. Very, very simple. They need to know exactly what the next step is. And they need to know exactly what the next step is because you have to tell them what the next step is. I'm gonna show you a couple quick examples. All right. Coach D, I think we have you here. Okay. And then on the right side, we have one of the other landing pages that we do. We're actually preparing this for the programs that will start at the end of November or beginning of December. It's 18 webinar sessions, all free. Okay. And we do it once a week. Hey, you know what? Can I get your advice and suggestion? In fact, let me stop the screen share very quickly right now. I want to get some feedback from y'all and get some advice, if that's okay. Okay. That webinar session that the 18 sessions that I mentioned, I'm still deciding if it's going to be on Sunday morning, every Sunday morning for 18 weeks, or is it better that we do it Friday mornings for 18 weeks? So if you think that we should do it on a Friday morning, just put, well, don't put F, put Friday, F-R-I, okay? If you think it should be on a Sunday, do me a favor and put S-U-N, okay? Just think about that. If you were to attend 18 webinar sessions, maybe you don't need to attend all of them. Would you be more willing to attend it on a Friday morning like now, or a Sunday morning? So I'll wait for y'all to enter that, and then I'll take a look at it later. Israel, one hand for Friday, two hands for Sunday. Friday. Awesome. Thank you. I promise I answer your question later. Yeah. I missed you, I think the last time you and I spoke was, is it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, right? Right. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Let me get back to the, okay. Everyone can see the screen still? Yes. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So thank you so much for the feedback. I think we'll keep it Friday mornings, because I actually set it up for Sundays. Okay. So that landing page is very new. It's like a couple days old. All right. Then we have, okay, then how would I put it? It doesn't have to be, too flashy. It can be very, very simple. Now you can also use landing pages to test. Now, let me show you one example of how simple it is, and another landing page of us testing, testing a new business venture. Okay. So on the left is a simple landing page. I came across this ad. It was like, I think it's in Scotland, where you buy a piece of land. You buy a small piece of land. I don't think I'll do it, right? But you buy a small piece of land. I think it's in Scotland, if I remember. And if you buy that small piece of land for about, I think it's like $90 US, they'll make you a lord, a lord and a lady. Okay, so that was very, very interesting. But you see, the simplicity of the landing page has only one purpose. The only purpose of this landing page, they were running a massive amount of ads. Okay, they were getting people to this landing page that you see on the left side of your screen. All they wanted you to do was like, hey, do you want to be a lord? This was a couple, that means lord and lady. But you also had the other ads were just for a lord or just for a lady, right? And it was so interesting because the purpose of this landing page was just to get you there and feed your own ego. A lot of products and services, we need to feed the ego, right? And get you to decide if you're going to buy right there and then. All right. Not many products can do that. In fact, most of the products and services, yes, you can do that. You can have an option to buy now. But what we want to do is we want to collect information. All right. On the right side of the screen is a program that we're developing now. But one of the things that I want to do is, before I fully commit 100% resources into creating a program or a product or service, I want to do a little bit of testing, because there's no point creating something and then nobody buys, right? Isn't it? Right? So we're in the process of creating this, okay? And then we do a landing page to see what kind of feedback, is our marketing going to work? And then so we're building our database right now, so that when the product is ready and we launch, we already have people that are in line to get this information. I hope that makes sense. Does it make sense? You can either thumbs up, or you can put a Y or a yes. Thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into a call to action. The call to action that's on the next slide. I'm going to show you this now. If you see on your screen here, I think you can see my mouse. Get your free gift here. Okay, that's the call to action. In fact, we should I'll adjust this so that it's a stronger call to action. It should be something like it should be very clear, like send us your details and get your free gift here. That's what it should be. Okay, that would make that call to action a lot stronger. So your call to action has to be very clear. So a call to action, we call it a CTA. CTA, call to action, is what you're telling or suggesting the prospect to do next, whether they're going to buy, whether they're going to click on a landing page, whether they're going to send you a message, whether reply to an email, send a WhatsApp to you. WhatsApp, very important. Yeah, I have something on the slides that makes it easier for someone to send a WhatsApp to you, because right now, I think, right, to send a WhatsApp, you gotta put the number in, then you gotta save it, then you gotta find it in the contacts, right? People are basically, I'm not gonna say that, I'll say it, but I don't mean it this way. People are basically lazy. And if we have that understanding, what we have to do is we have to make it easy for them to take the next step. We make it very easy for them to take the next step, okay? If you look at your whole sales and marketing process, you must make it easy for them to say yes. You must make it easy for them to make a decision. You must make it easy for them to take the next action, okay? So it can be fill in the boxes. It can be call this number. It can be set an appointment. Now, remember we talked about your product. What is this? Who is it for? What are the features? What problem does it solve? Remember we talked about that, all right? Because the next part is your irresistible offer. When we talk about irresistible offer, it's not like, hey, this was 10,000 and now it's discounted to 1,000, right? Some ladies, if let's say you go shopping and something is 10,000 discounted to 1,000, that's a great deal, right? I mean, that's an irresistible offer. But I read this the other day. It's like, if something is 10,000, if something is 10,000 and it's on sale for 1,000, you didn't save 9,000. What you did was you spent 1,000. All right. So what you have to do is you have to create an irresistible offer. Let me ask you this. And I want you to answer yes or no. Okay. And this is for those that are selling a product, selling an opportunity, selling a service, whatever it is. Let me ask you this question, and I want you to answer yes if you're tired of it, or no if you like it. And here's the question. The question is, are you tired of only dealing on price? If you're tired of that, put in a Y or a yes. If you're okay with only dealing on price, put in a no. Okay. So I think we all agree that now with some customers, with some clients, price is an issue. Price is important. Okay. So when we talk about price, when we talk about irresistible offer, it's not 10,000 drop to 1,000. It's not. Okay. What you have to do is you have to show that you have 10,000 worth of value. What you have to do is that you have to show that you have more than 10,000 worth of benefit. And that's where the emotion and the benefit comes in. That's why, I really hit you hard on, yes, these are the features, but what are the benefits? What is the problem that you solve? If let's say you have a problem, and I solve it, would you pay? Of course you would. I'll give you an example. Let's say, this is an example that I use, when handling an objection about price, many years ago, and I still use that once in a while, but it's actually more appropriate for a Western market because it's very direct. All right. So let's say someone doesn't have the money. Right? what I would say is that you have kids, you have 2 kids, right? You know, whatever. I'm going to shorten it for you, okay? You have 2 kids, and let's say they're playing on the swing, and then let's say one of them falls and breaks the arm, but you have no money, okay? But you have to take them to the hospital. Where would you find the money? Okay, so when we talk about that, when we talk about emotion and benefit, that answer was a very emotional, emotional laden conversation, right? It made them think, yeah, you know what? Which comes back to the 2 excuses. The 2 excuses are don't have the time, don't have the money, right? If you can overcome these 2 main excuses with your prospects, with your leads, right, in your social media advertising, your social media marketing, your social media posting, if you can overcome these 2 main objections, you've already won half the battle. Okay, now what specials do you have? What promotions, offers, free trial? You know, whatever those are on the left side of the screen is really the features, isn't it? On the right side of the screen, the emotion and the benefit is the emotion and the benefit, right? So you have to tie the special with the emotion and the benefit, because people make decisions based on emotion and they justify it with logic. This handbag is 10,000, but it's on sale for 1,000. Okay, they want that handbag, which is an emotion, right? I want that handbag. And they justify that decision by saying it's $9,000 savings. That's justifying it with logic. Okay, take that, what I just said, and apply it to your product and your service. Okay, I'm going to share some tools with you. Let me get to that here. So I'm going to share some tools with you. Let's see, how can I get it out to you? Okay, give me one quick second. Oh, you know what? What I'll do is I'm going to send the slides over to. I'm going to send the video recording over to all of you within the next 24 hours. All those links that you see on the screen, on the bottom half of the screen, I'll send those to you. Okay. Each one of those links comes with a free trial and a special offer from those companies. I'll explain what those are. All right. Now, remember the landing pages that I showed you earlier? You can create those very, very quickly. It's not easy. It takes a little bit of time to learn. But we use GetResponse. We actually use three different services. Actually, we use 4 different services. One of the more cost-effective ones is GetResponse. If you get the basic plan, I think it's about 15 USD a month. Okay, 15 USD a month. So it's about 60 ringgit, or whatever currency that you're in, wherever you are right now. I'm telling you, 15 USD, whatever that converts to, it's worth the money. And with the link that I sent to you, you actually get a 30-day free trial. So in GetResponse, you can do a landing page. You can do a conversion funnel. You can do your email newsletter. You can sell products and services. You can set up autoresponders. You can do all of these things, all right, for 15 USD a month. There's no other service that I found out there that has all these features, gives you all the benefits for 15 bucks a month. Okay. Then we have a Hootsuite. Hootsuite, you would probably qualify for the free plan. The next level up is 10 USD a month. I don't think you need the 10. Most of you on this session here, Hootsuite would be more than sufficient. The free plan. What it is it schedules your posts on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. It schedules your posts for you. Of course, you have to create the content, right? Now you create the content. I already gave you the formula for creating the content. So if you've ever used Facebook Scheduler, you got to go to each one, schedule the date, the time, and then hit schedule, right? With Hootsuite, you can schedule, for the next 5 days, the next 30 days. What we do is we schedule for 30 days in advance in our 13 different Facebook pages. Okay. Then you have Funnelytics. Remember the funnel I showed you earlier for the financial education company, get that, because it lays out your whole sales funnel. Now, WhatsApp.my, you can use a different one. This is just one of the ones that we use. WhatsApp.my, it takes your WhatsApp phone number and it converts it into a link that if you click on that link, it goes straight to your WhatsApp. All right. And you can even take that and shorten it with bit.ly. Okay. Bit.ly takes a long URL and shortens it into a custom URL, bit.ly / and you give it a your own name. Then you have equity schedule. Most of us use just show me a show of hands. Most of us use Google. What is that? Google Calendar. Yeah. Okay. So you can use Google Calendar. Equity can work together with Google Calendar. What it is it's an online calendar. So instead of going back and forth with your client that says, are you free on Tuesday? How about 10 a.m.? Oh no, 3 p.m. Going back and forth, you just send them the link and they book a time with you, whether it's in person, whether it's a Zoom discussion, whether it's a phone call. They book a time with you and that goes in your calendar. All right. Okay. So I'll send these links to you together with the video recording. Okay. So let me ask you this question. How am I doing so far? Have I shared things of value? Have I shared ideas with you? Have I shared things that you can do right away? If the answer is yes, put a Y. If it's no, just like scold me later on. All right. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Dee. Daniel, thank you. Loga, thank you. Prabha, thank you. Okay, so what I'll do, with your permission, as I had mentioned earlier, I want to share a couple resources with you. Is it okay? Is it okay if I share these resources with you? If it's yes, just show me a thumbs up in the video. Yes, thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I promise I'll be quick on this, and then after I share these with you, we're going to go into the Q&A. Israel, as of this moment, I do remember your question and I will address it. But in my old age, if I forget, please do remind me. All right. Okay. The first resource I want to share with you is this. We talk about digital marketing, we talk about social media, Facebook, and all those things, right? I have a set of ebooks. They're all PDF. Actually, if you take all these 6 books, yeah, it comes up to almost, if I remember, it's 368 pages. I mean, it's 368 pages. Book 1 is social media marketing, Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, YouTube marketing, LinkedIn marketing, email marketing. Now, we have been selling these for up to March. We have been selling these for actually 49 USD. Okay, this year during these uncertain, challenging times, we decided to make it available at only $14.95. All right, I'll send the link to you also when we get the video out to you. All right, guys, it's $14.95. It tells you how to do all these things in detail. It gives you the structure, it gives you the strategy, it gives you everything that you need for $14.95. All right. Yes, and I know that you did. Okay. Resource number two is this. Okay, is a basic social media and lead generation program. All right. Now, we also conduct trainings on social media marketing, social media selling. We also do it as a service. Now, when we do it as a service, we charge about $4,000 to $4,500 a month to do, to get everything set up and to do, to basically be your social media manager. All right. But this year, we actually created this program, I think, let's see, about 1.5 months ago. It's a very basic program. The outcome and the objective is for B2B and B2C. All right. The whole premise behind this is to create a smooth and effective lead generation and conversion online and Facebook marketing system. Now, when we create this, it's semi-automatic, okay? Because we try to ensure a higher quality of leads and inquiries that are predisposed to converting into clients for you. Now, remember the 7 steps that I talked about earlier: the audience demographic, the ad creatives, the landing page, the follow-up. You got to follow up with email. All right. You got to post every day. Post every day, something. And that's the hard part, because when you post every day, then you got to create content. And a lot of people don't post every day. In fact, they post barely once a week or twice a week because they don't know how to create content. You don't need to be a content creator to create content. Remember, we talked about your product. What is it? Who is it for? The problem that you solve? What's the features? What's the benefits? What, why should someone buy from you? All of those is your content. You have, testimonial pictures. You have testimonial. I showed you all these things on the session today. All right. So the next part is we create the landing page. Okay. You create the landing page. You got to subscribe to get response. We'll create your landing page that's designed to generate leads and collect contact information. We'll include, creating the autoresponder, creating a series of email newsletters. If you have products and services, we'll put that on into get response for you. Like I said, we also do the follow-up email series. The hard part, like I said, is creating the content, right? The hard part is creating the content. What we will do is we'll create 1 month of content for you in a posting schedule outline. That means we create the content and the call to action for 1 calendar month on a Monday to Friday schedule. Now, when you do the following months, the outline can be adjusted or tweaked by you or your in-house personnel. Now, we'll create the call to actions for you, whether it's visit the landing page, send a message, reply to email, call the phone number. The CTA, the call to action, is very important, and it needs to be done right. We'll also help you with your content and copy adjustment. Any current promotions, we'll take it and we'll tie it in with an emotion and a benefit. Then, I have to mention, this is a one-time fee. It's not every month, all right? Like I said, we normally charge $4,500 per month, all right? On this basic program, what we're doing is we're doing the complete setup for you, and we hand it over to you, and we will tell you exactly what we did and how you're going to carry on from that point. So it's a one-time fee to get everything set up for you. We call it the done for you, all right? It's complete setup and guidance. We'll explain everything in order for you or your in-house personnel to be able to duplicate the efforts and actions for all the coming months. Now, it's 500 USD. Some people say, hey, that sounds expensive. It's not cheap and it's not expensive. It's only expensive if it doesn't work, right? If it works, then it's well worth the investment. Okay. Now, we created this because we found that a lot of companies could not do the 4,000, 5,000 per month. And this is plus, the Facebook ad budget, right? A lot of companies could not afford the 4,000 to 5,000 per month, right? So what we want to do is we scale down the price, and we do all these for you so that at least you have a head start, all right? Now, you have a couple choices. I came across this one. What you see on the screen, is their payment page. It's a ringgit 2,397. 2,397 is roughly slightly less than 600 USD, like 580, 575, whatever it is, right? So, excuse me, for over 500 USD, you join this course that you see on your screen, okay? And they teach you what to do. All right. So you got to learn on your own. Nobody's guiding you. You're going to make mistakes. And you're going to pay a lot. And when you pay a certain amount of money, you want everything done right. All right. So your choice is this. Your choice is that you can learn on your own or get us to do it for you. You don't have anyone guiding you, but you have me guiding you. We may make mistakes, but we'll fix them right away, and we'll make way less than if you're trying to do it on your own. All right. And for the 500 USD, we'll get it done right for you. All right. Okay. So if you want resource number one, we'll send the link to you. You can, we'll send you the video recording of this within the next 24 hours. Actually, I say within the next 24 hours, but anyone that has attended our session, these expert webinar series so far, we always send it out the same day. The latest, I think, is in the evening. All right. So we'll probably get it out to you today, but we promise 24 hours. Okay. If you want resource number two, which is this done for you service, you can reply to the email. You should also have my phone number somewhere. What I'll do is I'll share the WhatsApp. You can send me a WhatsApp, and then we can have a conversation about that with you. Now it'll take us 2 to 3 weeks to get everything done and handed over. All right. Okay. So let's get into the Q&A. All right. And let me do this also. If you want to send me a message, remember I talked about the WhatsApp where you don't need the number and you don't need to save and everything, right? If you see that QR code there on your screen, the QR code actually goes straight to my WhatsApp. All right. So if you want to send me a WhatsApp, what you do is you take a screenshot. You use your QR code scanner and take that QR code, and it brings it straight to my WhatsApp. You see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We teach these things and we do them as well. All right. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Wait for the email that we'll send out, and then all my contact information is there as well. Okay, so let's get into the question and answer. And while we do that, let me unshare. Okay, so I think our first question was from Israel, right? To clarify your question, Israel, is Israel still here? Yes. Okay. So to clarify your question, you said, how about for tourism industry? So I would assume that the question really means is, can we use social media marketing for tourism industry? Does that sound right? Or maybe do you want to clarify your question? To clarify your question, you can type it, or you can unmute yourself and then ask, just ask on the video, and it's your choice.
Hi, Chris.
Morning, Israel.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Morning. It's about tourism.
Sure.
It's badly affected with the COVID pandemic right now.
Right.
And is social media the right platform for tourism to be lifted again? I mean, the industry to be built up again using social media. Because as you know,
go ahead.
They like to go to countries to see, visit places, maybe breathe the air there and whatnot. And they want to experience it. But nowadays you can't go anywhere right now,
right,
due to the pandemic. So is it possible for tourism players to use social media as their platform?
Okay. Just to clarify the question, are you talking about fulfillment of the service or to market the service?
Market the service.
Okay.
And fulfill the tourism's, the tourist especially experience of it.
Okay. I'll answer it a couple different ways. I might take a little bit longer to answer this question just because it's tourism. But what I'm saying, it applies to almost every other product or service out there. Okay. The first thing is, tourism is a very experiential experience. All right. Or it's a very experiential thing. That means we have to touch, we have to feel the seawater splashing on the face. We have to, breathe in the cool mountain air, after climbing up, whatever it is, right? So it's very experiential. We're very hard pressed right now to duplicate that experience, to, touch and feel. Okay. So that part I cannot address. What I can address is that I'm not going to say that social media marketing is the answer. It is one of the answers. All right. One of the things I mentioned when we started our session this morning is that if you're not on social media, if you're not on digital marketing, you have to be on it. If you're already on it, you got to do more. You got to do more now, more than ever. Okay. But that doesn't mean that you forget about the other marketing avenues and marketing streams that you have. You see, we're in Malaysia. I think there's people from some other countries on this. Malaysia is like, CMCO, EMCO, hotspots here and there, right? So you think that we're gaining ground, and then we go 1 or 2 steps back. And the other challenge, especially in Malaysia, Israel, is that we're not allowing foreigners, foreign tourists to come in. We want to rely on domestic tourism, right? So there's many challenges with that. So what we need to do is we need to fix the problem now, and to fix the problem that we'll have in the future. So this is how we do it. We look at the available market, and that would be domestic tourism. Now it's getting limited. Because a lot of people are under CMCO or EMCO. EMCO, we don't talk about that. The CMCO, we cannot do out of district tourism. So what we have to do is we have to focus more on the people that can do it now and can do it in several weeks or in a month, and then we have to look at the future. We took in a client, let's see, I believe it was in June or July, in Manila. So what they do is they do a Christian pilgrimage, okay? Christian pilgrimage. So they had all canceled because no way to travel out. Now the interesting thing about Philippines is that I think on 1st of November they allowed non-essential foreign travel. It used to be essential foreign travel. So we're seeing some upticks with that particular client now. But what we did was we said, hey, you know what? We create a package, and instead of paying for it, in one lump sum or 2 or 3 installments, they created a payment plan of either 6 months or 12 months. Okay, so you use it as a payment plan in anticipation of the travel that you can do maybe in 6 months or a year. I know that for and excuse me if I get the terminology wrong, yeah, our Muslim friends. So excuse me if I get terminology wrong or pronunciation wrong. Umrah, I think they're opening up for Umrah now, right? However, Malaysia is not allowing travel out for Umrah as yet, as I understand. Okay, so when we talk about that, what travel agents should do is follow that model. Start doing the process now so that you can do it in the future. Now, when we talk about tourism, what we have to do is we have to show the experience as best that we can, and actually the experience is the benefit, right? So we should have more video. We should have more what do you call it? Augmented AR, augmented reality, to get the potential tourists so that they'll be prepared to come in the future when things kind of die down, or a vaccine comes up, or borders open, whatever it is. Did that kind of answer your question, Israel?
Yeah.
Okay,
Clearly.
awesome. Okay, good. Do we have any other questions from anybody else? If you have a question, you can type in the question, or you can unmute yourself, put your video on, and you can ask me direct. While you're thinking of a question, I'll mention a couple things. The first is next week. We do have a very interesting session. It's how you're going to get an extra stream of income. Very interesting session next week. And then the week after that, we have Coach D. Coach D is actually on our session here today. We have his topic is blind spots, things that prevent us from achieving what we desire and what we want with blind spots, and how to overcome that. All right. So please make sure you check out the other sessions that we have. I think we have 2 or 3 more remaining in this series. Okay. Do we have any questions from anybody at all? Okay, I'm going to ask you a favor now. If we can all put our video on, okay? Because
Hi, Chris. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I need to leave. I have a guest coming in a moment.
No problem. No problem. Take care. No issues at all.
See you.
Okay. See you. Right. Okay. So can we put our videos on so I can take a screenshot of everyone? And good to see you this morning. I love your beach work area. Rebecca, good to see you again. Daniel, always nice to Jane, Bavatarani, and everyone else that that comes in. So guys, let's put our video on because we're going to take a quick picture. There's one that you'll see there is CKR is my alternate screen, so I'm not going to put that on. Okay. I'm going to ask those that have not. Let's get your video on. I love that in your background, Julia. What is that? It looks designer. Is that right? I cannot hear you. Oh, you typed in, yeah, okay. Okay, I like the look of it. It looks too small for me though. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna take one picture first, and that's gonna be now. Let's try to smile a little bit so we all look a little bit better. Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. So can we take one with like everybody waving, including myself? We wave. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So do we have any other questions on our session this morning at all? You can unmute yourself and ask your question, or you can type your question. And if I don't get a question in the next 10 or 15 seconds, I'm going to end our session, and then I will see, for those of you that will join us next week, I'll see you all next week.
Chris.
Yes, Jane.
Okay, what is the first step for start our digital marketing?
The first step is to decide to take the first step. That's the first step. The second step is to go through the 7 things that I listed out and get all of those done before you spend your first dollar on Facebook. Okay. And if you do not have a Facebook business page, get one done. Get one set up. I will share this, Coach D, I'm going to share something very quickly about what we did. Is it okay? Yes? Okay. So I think we had our conversation in September, first week or last week of August or first week of September when we met up, right?
Yes.
And then we're doing more things for Coach D. Now, part of what I shared about Resource 2, we did that for him. Very quickly, I think, because we haven't rehearsed this yet, yeah? Very quickly, I think we created the landing page, we created the email series, we did all the things that we talked about on the session today We did it very quickly for you. You didn't even have a website, and you didn't have a Facebook page. Okay, so we created all that. If I remember correctly, in like 45 days thereabouts, we
Yeah,
had.
thereabout.
It wasn't perfect yet, but it was very functional.
Yes.
And you were able to grow your Facebook page to, I think, almost 200 now. Is that right?
Yeah,
Thereabouts.
pretty much.
Yeah.
According to Facebook Insight, it reached almost 3,000 people. So I don't know.
Okay, good. So we also did a Facebook campaign, starting to get leads in. So here's the thing. When Coach D came to me, he basically had his program, and he was marketing it already, right? And so he doesn't stop doing that. I will never tell anyone to stop doing what you're already doing. What I'm saying is that do more of what you're already doing and add this. All right. So the social media marketing, to answer your question, Jane, one of the things that follow the 7 steps. Follow the 7 steps. Do all of that. Okay. Create a Facebook page. Join Facebook groups where your target audience is that community. Did all that kind of make sense? So for Coach D, we started basically from nothing, and we're building it up to this point.
Yeah, and it's been a very interesting journey.
Awesome. Yes, Jane.
A part of that, everyone known as adult has a lot of experience than a teenager to marketing on social media. Do you think current teenagers can handle the business page of social media?
Let me twist the question on you.
They need.
You see, it doesn't matter
Okay.
what I think, that right? I mean, it really doesn't.
Okay.
Okay. What matters is what you think.
Okay.
If you think you can, you can.
Mhm.
One of the things that I always say, I don't have a lot of talent. Okay. I have my good looks, right? I have my youth and my good looks. Okay. But honestly, I don't have a lot of talent. What I have is a lot of skills. Okay. I've built up these skills over the last 30 years plus. All right. And you build up your skill. And when you have a skill, nobody can take it away from you. The important thing about skill is that you got to use it, you got to learn it, you got to implement and apply. So, when we do these sessions, we're talking about skills. We never say that, oh, you got to have a talent for this and talent for that. You'll never hear me say that. All right. You'll always hear me say, you need to develop this skill. You need to develop this skill, and you need to implement this skill. Everything, Jane, everyone on this session today, Jane, everything that I teach you is skill. There's no like, oh, I'll teach you this and you have talent, then you can, match it up and use it. What you need is the desire to improve and be successful, and the skills that help you do it. That's all you need.
Thank you, Chris.
Most welcome. Okay, I'll send out information about Coach D when we have the when we have his session in a couple of weeks, because somebody sent me a message. I don't think you meant to send me a direct message privately. Okay. And thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much. D, you had a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask is that when you talk about the sales marketing, and even for me, it had to do with a lot of to take that first step. Maybe this may help Jane. That sometimes it comes down to our mindset, right? Our blind spots, our belief systems, right?
Right.
Maybe we have an old way of thinking about how things should be done, or whether or not we're capable of doing it. So this all comes to up our own personal belief system.
Right. There's think of it this way, okay, Jane. Let's say you have to dig a hole. You have to dig a hole, but you don't have a shovel, right? And most people will say that I need to dig a hole, but I don't have a shovel. so I'm not going to dig the hole because it's going to be too hard. So that's where the excuses of the money and time come in. And then if you want something bad enough, you're going to dig that damn hole even with your hands. Okay, I'll share one quick story. I was when I was in the Army, I did not get along with my captain at all. Okay, he was my second CO in an infantry company of about 150 soldiers. So I was one of the platoon commanders. I was a lieutenant, all right, at that time, and we had a defense exercise, and so I did something. Hey, no worries, Jane. So I did something that made him angry. I don't remember what it was, but I was always making him angry. So it doesn't matter, okay? And so he told me that, and it was a defense exercise. That means we were digging trenches, right? We have shell script, we have trenches, and there's a way to dig them, right? So a 2-man trench is 2 men digging that trench. It would take about 4 to 6 hours to complete that trench. So my punishment was I had to dig the command trench. The command trench is about, let me think, probably 6 meters by 6 meters around there, and it had to be 2 meters higher because we had to be able to walk in. We couldn't bend down when we dug that hole, right? And then you had to have the beams on the top. So what he did was he said, okay, your punishment is you're going to dig the command trench, and then you got these 6 soldiers to dig with you. So we started digging at about 1 a.m. in the morning, and over the next 1 or 2 hours, he took men away and he reassigned them. And I dug that trench by myself from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Okay? Because he told me that if I didn't complete, he told me in the beginning, if you don't complete this task, you're going to get a lot of shit. Okay? From 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., I was digging that trench by myself. And you know what? My pride and my anger made me complete it without the extra men. Okay? So I did that. If you can take that and put it in your business, that they can take away your abilities, take away your whatever they take away, and you got to survive, and you gotta be successful. You know what? Skill and the desire will get you through. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Okay. Do we have any other questions from anybody at all? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the live stream right now. And I will stop the recording right now.